One, two, three.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. More action for you today on the ATA YouTube channel. It is an ongoing Super 8-woman comp of the 8 players that did make a cut into the Uganda national pool team that will make the Ultimate Pool Championships coming up, starting in exactly 7 days from now on the 13th of October, especially given that today is the 5th. This match is between two of Uganda's best attacking talents, Rashida Motesi, ranked third by the police station of Uganda, but for some people an unofficial number 1, taking on Zaimat, number 4, racing to 7 in not more than 70 minutes here at Addis Sport in Kampala. 10 minutes have been played and 2 frames have been played. Frames being shared between the players, 1 apiece. First frame of the match was won by Zaimat, and by break and finish, second frame was won by Rashid. That's why the scores are currently at 1-all. There is some kind of likelihood of a second frame won by Zaimat. She came short. She has missed the black. She has given Rashid a chance to play again in the frame. Quite easily, Rashida may be the best attacking player on the continent and one of the best that there is in the world, most especially on the small table. What a match she did have against Sheila. very easily. There were 7 apples, red and green, from both of the players in the match. Now when that is ladies pool, that is nothing short of world class. And after that, Pasha's knockout from Rashida. Zaimat just deciding to play the black card, hitting it, the only part that she was having sight of. When the frame is as open as these yellows, when the player on the table is Rashida, you are almost certain, most especially if you are an opponent, that you are not visiting the table again in the current frame. She's going for the frame the harder way. Now having to drift the cue ball back to the left end of the table. On target she is, back to the left end of the table. The cue ball is even better. Having some cut between cue ball and yellow for her to play backspin off the top cushion, and in perfect space for her to put black to the center pocket at the bottom. She gets to lead for the first time in the match. It is Rashida 2 and Zaimat 1.
This was a free stream.
It is frame number 4. Last time out that Rashida was able to, that Zaimat was able to defeat Rashida, was a quarter final of a 32-player competitions. Those monthly ones that are normally organized at Roxbury, the ones dubbed Roxbury Ladies Day Out. The comp was won by Zaimat in the quarterfinals. A race to 4 it was. She defeated Rashida in a decider by 4 frames to 3. Since then, it has been 3 consecutive victory for Rashida over Zaimat. This one could be a 4th if Zaimat doesn't win 6 more before Rashida can win 5 out of 10. Here she is in what could be her first apple of the match. She's had that story of that very young girl whom we already saw at the age of 14 having drawn inspiration from her elder sister Rukia, playing with Sinkers Pool Club in the Ugandan Pool League in 2015, then 2016, joining Kisakye Pool Club, fully teaming her with her elder sister Rukia in 2017. Those two part of the team that won the league that year. By 2018, She had already cemented herself as one of the better players in the country, especially when she reached the National Open finals at the first time of attempting to even qualify. Since then, many do rate her as the lady that has been the best player in the country, especially for the fact that she has won 8 out of the last 13 tournaments organized by the Plus Station of Uganda between that time. Now Potting Black, with one visit of the table with Apple as the best, as she calls herself by nickname, now leads by 3 frames to 1.
Obanja. It is part of the fun. Kandabeko nebibadde emitiana nga wenda bagenda. Emitiana bikyalira ebyo emitiana bimanyi.
Here comes Zaimat, trying to respond to Rashida's single visit of the table with a single visit of her own. She's normally good at those ones. She does love to make playing some of those fancy shots. Rashida looks so simple. Living in a generation of top class players, and many of the times coming out top herself. Wanting to finish what will be a very well finished frame if she does make a clearance of now the 3 yellows left on the table. 1 to the corner pocket top left. Cue ball is natural for the second, to the center pocket on the left, the third to the corner pocket bottom left, and then black to the center pocket on the right for her to record a 3 frame cushion against her opponent. Almost got herself snookered, but power balance I believe was okay. A back spin will do. Having to pot and then position the cue ball in between the reds. Back spin. She played the cue ball into a red, and the easiest spot of the black does give her a 4-1 cushion against her opponent with 49 minutes to go. It is Rashida now 4 and Zaimat 1. It's the first match that she's having today, at least officially on the table, after winning her first opponent Rita by way of walkover, after Rita did communicate that she is not feeling well enough to play in this competition today. And yes, in the true spirit of the game, we do wish Rita a quick recovery. But Rashida's recovery will be even quicker if she can find a way of winning this ongoing frame. Zaimat must make sure that she gets to win the frame. Otherwise, letting Rashida take a 5-frame-to-1 lead would be a little too much to try and cope up with. There she commits a technical foul. It's just a loss of turn. Zaimat playing the cue ball in its position, and it's only one visit of the table. Simply a loss of turn. That's why Snooker Zaimat played off the cushion, getting to scratch, getting to foul, and now it is a standard foul. Rashida with the cue ball in hand, with choice to place it anywhere on the bed of the pool table. Rashida not only leading in terms of frames won in the match, she's leading in terms of the brain game against her opponent, and they just concluded the situation where she committed a technical foul. Then in the resulting visit of her opponent, Rashida getting the cue ball in hand shows that perhaps she doesn't only know how to play, she has also mastered the rules and knows exactly how to utilize them to her advantage. She will want to put the yellow to the diagonal corner pocket top right, perhaps with some kind of stop effect on the cue ball. That is perfection, that is beauty, that is the beast in Rashida, also known as the best. A frame with this kind of complexion, you normally think that she has a chance to try and win it with her current visit of the table. It's now 3 yellows on the table, and the one in the middle of them probably is the one she would want to play last, but this shot has to be played perhaps with backspin. Oops, she has big English spoken on the cue ball, bounces it off 3 cushions, and now has sight of the better looking of the 2 yellows left on the table. Cue ball is, however, not natural for the last yellow. If she puts another backspin played to perfection for Rashida now to put the last yellow to the center pocket now on the left, she simply has to avoid playing the cue ball into the red, because she could put yellow and then get herself snookered. It has to be backspin off the cushion, and now in perfect position. Very well finished frame by a very skillful player, Rashida Motesi. Now 5, and Zaimat number 4, 1.
What is that fruit? Nze nnyo apple naye simanyi ekyo ki. Yakubye apple nasoose n'akoma. Nedda apple zibadde nnyingi, geemu ya kikadde ne anka zabaddemu eziwera mu bonna baazekuba. Azanye bulungi era just I liked her performance. Kikadde ye lwaki kitaliiko ebyo, osobola ng'ozannya bulungi naye nakku.
Anti ye ndomunyumiza.
No.
Ojireka wajima.
Agimala. Njagala nnyo afune chance azanye tournaments ennene ne mu Black Cup. Azanye abeera agwira olinamu ssente singa afuna chances
outlet.
ebyo bwe bityo ebyebungereza bungereza ngazanya bakazi banne
Manyi enjeru nnyingi.
kuba bingi
Kuba bingi nnyo. Ate Luki ali strategic. Agenda kiri simple.
besikwa ekyamaanyi asobola kikuba nga kyeyeetaaga kyekirimu
Naye muntu nnyo enjeru alina
Now, this ongoing frame, Zai must win, but given the kind of balls he's missing compared to her known strength, perhaps she's feeling the weight of Rashida playing perhaps her best game. The player who has been the distant best in the country. She has won quite much. Perhaps at least 10 events this year. If she wins this competition, it will be the third. She'll be winning at this same venue this year. She also won a 32-player competition at Roxbury, another 32-player competition at home base. She has won 2 tournaments of the Pool Association of Uganda. She has won the top scorers accolade of the Ugandan Pool League, as well as winning the National Pool League itself with her team, that is Makono. And given the way she's playing, maybe she's not yet about to stop. She has perfected the art of technical fouls. As long as the player on the table did play her ball first, in this case the yellow by Rashida, in the same shot where she puts her opponent's red, she simply loses a turn. It is not a standard foul. One shot on the table for the incoming opponent. Like you've seen, Zaimat has missed it. It will be the second frame where Rashida is showing her mind superiority, the mastery of the games and ability to the mastery of the rules and the ability to use them to her advantage in comparison to her opponent. There's one player that has been knocked out of the competition entirely, maybe 2. And the only player to have lost twice on the table is Julie Namuhanga. But the fact that Rita did miss the competition, and of course after communicating that she's not feeling well, you think that she will be the second. I don't think her match will be happening in the losers category. But after this, if it goes by its current projection and then Rashida wins the match, it will be Rashida versus Rukia in the first live final. The losers category will have the likes of Zaimat, with an assumption I'm making that she's losing this match. Amina Faith Nganda. The loser side, just as is Jacinta Kajubi. So it will be perhaps 3 more matches live before the close of business today. maybe 2, maybe 3. She now has a relatively difficult task of trying to bank a yellow to perhaps the center pocket on the left, maybe a direct sharp cut of the yellow, maybe simply play safety, leave the cue ball at the bottom end of the table with Zaimat's reds at the top end, all of them. The shot could be effective. Zaimat perhaps can only play effective one of her reds. I'm not so certain if she can see any of them in full. And there Zaimat responds to a safety with a safety of her own. 36 minutes to go. Rashida wanting to find the yellow off 2-3 cushions. She does find it. It will go down as effective shooting. I also want to think that that Zaimat will be playing the red near the corner pocket top left end of the table. Will not mind potting it. Will also not mind missing it. She has gotten to pot. Now, Rashida probably does know that with that kind of approach, perhaps Zaimat will be winning the ongoing frame. That one would have been so neat if she had potted the red. Rashida is snookered. Not so certain if fully snookered, but at least she cannot even tap her yellow with ease. She's contemplating playing it off the bottom cushion. With the aim for the white to be played into the yellow, try to pot it with a cut. And not really. It was always going to be very difficult. In the end, it is chance for Zaimat to try and take the frame away from Rashida, come within another frame of her opponent. One more red to pot to the corner pocket. Draw the white ball backwards in perfect position, I would say, for Zaimat to pot black to now the center pocket top of the screen. There she does aim and shoots and sinks it in. Now Zaimat 2 and Rashida 5. Biting her lips all over the place, contemplating what might have been. She came close to winning the frame, got to lose it. Zaimat's seniority in terms of experience and longevity coming on the foil. Yes, 5 to still Rashida in the lead. She's that player whom, as long as she gets to pot a ball on the break, as long as she has a relatively good split of the balls, will want to finish the frame and finish it by break and finish. They will be dead of all 6 yellows on the table. She's just played the cue ball into it, making it more realistic that she could finish the frame in her current visit of the table and make what will be a second apple of the match, not for herself, but remember the first frame won by Zaimat was won by Green Apple. Now how good can this be? With every ball potted, she gets closer to that. She does love them apples. Every time that she gets to finish a frame with one visit of the table by apple, she normally crops them out and shares to her TikTok handle. I think it's called The Best. She calls herself The Best as a nickname. She also has a YouTube channel that is called Mutesi Rashida. Needing now to put a yellow ball with a roll to the center pocket on the left. It has to be a roll, a little bit of top spin cue ball following the yellow, just a little bit like that. Within 1 or 2 good shots of what will be a beautifully cleared frame. She seems to be hungry, and as though her appetite is satisfied by eating apples, she also wants to eat them green. Rashida Mutesi wins and increases her lead to 6 frames compared to her opponent's 2, this time by apple. She will need 1, while Zaymat will need the whole of 5 out of the remaining 5 in not more than 31 minutes of play.
Scores currently, Mutesi 6, Zaymat 2. Next game, Akashaina against Amina. Tomorrow we're having the men. They're starting at 10 a.m.
Tokyabuuza.
Bazanya Bulamba, abasajja. The games for the men are starting at 10 a.m. Game 1 at 10 a.m. for the men. Rokoma Hazard, Ibrahim Kayanja. Bazanye. Kusawa Tano Chitundu, Wagawa Rashid, Ibrahim Sejena. Sawa Tano, Kazibu Iya, Ruwa Simon. Sawa Musam, Wagawa Rashid, Ibrahim Sejena. Sawa Munana Chitundu, Kasozi, against Caesar. Then Kukumi, we shall have the losers game. Kumine as well. Pakasawa. On Wednesday, we shall have the finals and the semi-finals for both ladies and the men.
Now, how good can one individual player be? How bullish Mutesi Rashida can be. Sometimes how perfect she can be. How simplistic she can make this game look. How dominant she has been, most especially throughout the course of this year. The roll of the black will be the last shot of the match. It would have been had the black gotten sunk. Zaymat can breathe again in what looks like already a losing battle. Not only does she have to find a way of winning this ongoing frame, she also has to do it and win 5 more in a row, and do it in the space of the next 28 minutes. And now, tempting Rashida to demonstrate her abilities to find balls off the angle. This one looks easy. It does look easy. The angle was so direct. She was always never going to miss that one. Not with all that quality, especially when at stake is a chance to take on her sister in the winners bracket final. The match is done. Very dominant. very clinical, very effective, and a distant better player. Final score, Rashida